Welcome back to Good Day. You know, St. Patty's Day, just a couple of days away. It is Saturday, and here to show us some great recipes, I'm very excited about this, is Ted Allen from Chopped.
Hello.
I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much.
I'm thrilled to... Oh, come on. Get out of here.
No, really.
You know,
in the commercial break, she was saying before we came in here, she's like, very few people starstrike me, and you're one of them. So
there you go.
It's a big honor, Ted Allen. It's a big honor.
I've been coming to Orlando my whole life. My grandparents were here. I still have my aunt Jim, Aunt Jim. Oh my God! Now I'm really in trouble.
You're in trouble.
My Uncle Jim, my Aunt Gail, my cousin Tim, and my cousin Tom Evans.
So I'll be over your house for the holidays. Sounds like you're here a lot.
Please, yeah, absolutely.
That's wonderful. Well, we're glad you're a frequent visitor.
I'm delighted to be back.
It's wonderful.
Okay, so you have 3 menu items that you're going to walk us through.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're making a nod to traditional Irish cooking, but we don't want to serve this with green beer.
Why not?
Well, you know, and that's not.
We want the wine. Yeah.
Absolutely. This is a sweet pea crostini with ricotta, and the peas are cooked with some shallot and a little mint, a little basil. Pairs beautifully with Robert Mondavi Private Selection Chardonnay because there's some richness in that cheese. And I think it's a white wine dish. If you wanted to go lighter, the peas also might suggest something like the Pinot Grigio, but it really goes nicely. And you know, it's almost spring.
How do you know if you should go white or red?
Usually it's about, well, you know, Mr. Mondavi always said you should drink what you like. Okay. But generally it's about how bold the food is. And if you're talking about delicate dishes like shrimp or salad or something, a lighter wine like white probably makes more sense. If it's a steak, probably a big red.
And as far as mushroom soup is concerned, what would you recommend for that?
This is a wild mushroom soup, and Pinot Noir is almost always where you go with those earthy flavors. This is the Robert Mondavi Private Selection Pinot Noir. It's got, you know, sort of notes of cherry, but a pronounced earthiness really makes sense with mushrooms and something to sort of ring out the winter. You guys don't really have winter, so I don't know.
But it's a light red, so for people maybe not a red person, they might like a noir because it's lighter.
Absolutely. And actually, Pinot Noir is my favorite red wine. It is, as you said, a light red. It's actually great with turkey. It's great with a lot of foods. It's probably the most versatile red that there is. And by the way, I have to thank the Whole Foods Market on Sand Lake for sending...
Is that where you shop this morning?
Well, yeah. Actually, they did a lot of the work here.
I think they did the shopping, right?
Yes, they did.
Okay, and then the last one is the meat that we were talking about earlier.
Oh, you talked about corned beef and cabbage?
Oh, yes.
Okay,
we're not big cabbage fans. What's wrong with us?
I don't. Well, you know, if you're not a fan of, you know, ordinary cabbage, Brussels sprouts become really, really nice when they're roasted, and they're sort of cabbagey. This is corned beef with roasted root vegetables, carrots, turnips, butternut squash, but also some of the Brussels sprouts. And I'm pairing that with the Robert Mondavi Private Selection Meritage, which is a Bordeaux-style blend, heavy on the Cabernet, but also several other grapes that are grown in Bordeaux. Only we grow them in the Central Coast of California.
So that's a mix of the different grapes, is what you're talking about.
It is, and red blends are really, really hot right now. Still a sort of a big wine. You were talking about steak a second ago, and this is the wine that I would have with something bold like that.
Can we talk about you for a second?
Okay.
You've had such a fascinating career. You really have. How did you get started?
I was a journalist, and I still do some writing for Esquire magazine. But when they were casting Queer Eye, I thought they were looking for someone who could talk a good game about food, which I generally can do. And I do cook. I cook about 4 nights a week.
Wow. So then how did you make the transition from journalism over to this type of stuff?
Well, you know, I was judging on Top Chef and Iron Chef at the same time, so on 2 different networks, which is sort of unusual.
Yes. They don't allow that in our contracts.
They don't allow it in my contract anymore.
There you go.
And I was looking for my next gig when Chopped came along, and...
Such a good show, by the way.
Thank you. We are doing super, super well. We're in production now.
That's awesome.
44 episodes. My feet hurt, but I'm having fun. I'm having so much fun.
Congratulations to you on all your success, because you really have just done such wonderful shows. I mean, we really enjoyed watching over the years.
Well, that's so kind of you. Can I do a quick shout out to my cousin? My cousin Tom Evans, who is the greeter at the Kmart across from Florida Mall every Monday afternoon. Hey, Tom. He's awesome.
Sweet. You're a good relative.
Yeah,
I'm a relatively good relative.
All right.
Thank you.
His house for the holidays.
My pleasure.
Check it out on Chopped.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
All right, let's send it over to Jamie.